What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my experience in college, community college to be exact. So I would say my experience wasn't your typical experience. Going into high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to go to college for. Like I felt like, yeah, college is not for me. I was those typical kids who I felt like I don't really need college. I wanted to go straight into work so I could help out the family with bills, things like that. Just try to be productive to society. I didn't feel like in my mind that going to school was really beneficial to me. I felt like, hey, let's get my hands dirty. Let me go to work and, do things like that. Now, what I realized is after applying to jobs, I just wasn't getting nothing back. I wasn't getting no responses because I had no work experience. Now, my thought process was, how can I get work experience without working? You know what I mean? So, nonetheless, it took me about a year. I ended up taking a year off after high school, and I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I can't keep sitting around being bored in my house. You know what I mean? Like, I have to do something. I want to be productive because every time school came around, my friends, all of them started getting busy going to college. They started having work to get done, their jobs. So they really had no time to just hang out and chill and things like that. So I'm like, I mean, if they're doing it and, then why don't I? You know what I mean? So I started looking into schools. I'm like, now, unfortunately, I didn't graduate high school with the highest GPA. To be honest, I was one of the lowest of my class just because I was so focused on being a class clown. Had I had that guidance back then, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, there was no one really telling me, hey, focus on school because you're going to need this when you want to apply to colleges and stuff like that. So I believe I graduated with like a 1.9 or a 2.0. It was horrible to be honest with you, but that's exactly what happens when you don't focus on class and you want to be the class clown, you want to be everywhere but inside of class. So I ended up looking at my options. I didn't really have many options, so I said, you know what? Well, what option can I do in order to, learn still? And it didn't matter to me what school I went to. It was just a matter of where would I learn the most. So I started doing research and I learned about Hudson County Community College. And for me, it was something that I didn't really know much about it. I knew a lot of my friends went there, but it's like I didn't want to base my, choice off of where my friends go. I wanted to pick something where I knew I would benefit most from. But they were very welcoming. Granted, I know that's their job, kind of, to be welcoming and kind of embrace you. But I've been on other tours at schools, and the people don't look like they enjoy their job. So one thing I could say about Hudson is they enjoy their job. They look like they really were welcoming and they love doing what they do. And me being someone who's like, I'm big on my environment, and if people around me are not happy, I won't be happy either. So therefore, me going there and them being so welcoming and helping me, guide me, and with every question that I had, it kind of worked out well for me. Fast forward a little bit, I ended up doing research into the EOF program. And to be honest, this program changed my life for the better. Being someone who finished high school, a year prior to starting college, I was like, you know what? What's the best way that I could get acclimated, meeting new people? And, you know, unfortunately, when I did go back to take the test, as far as the entrance exam, I didn't do well at it. So I was able to, join the college through the EOF program where they helped me, to the point where I was able to take the test again. And then I was able to get into English 101 and things like that. The best part about the program for me starting off was the fact that everyone was on the same level as me. A lot of the students who go to college or, as freshmen, they don't know people, or a lot of them they start at the same time as their friends. So it's like, hey, we're gonna get class together. We're gonna go on, our free period together. We're gonna make our schedule together. But for me, I didn't start with my friends. They already started a year prior to me, so it was like I'm really just putting myself out there and kind of just saying I hope for the best. The thing I loved about the program is they kind of, in a good way, they kind of force you to get to know people, and that's the best part, whether you're a shy person or not, you're kind of put in positions, whether it be group work, whether it be anything involving more than one person where you have to work together. They do a great job at that, and you create these friendships that could last a lifetime, so it was really a great experience. And one thing I would say that I wish I did more of is spend time on campus. People tend to think that, oh, community college is just, all right, let me go to class and go home. It doesn't really have to be like that. You can make friends. I know when I first started there, they had student lounges where you could go chill, bring your lunch, eat there, sometimes listen to music. But overall, it was the best time when you went there because it was that free period where you didn't have to think about class. You didn't have to think about tests. You could just have fun. And that was the best part about it. So that's one thing I look back and say, wow, I really wish I did more of that as opposed to going to class and just going home, because at the end of the day, when I went home, I was just focusing on homework or playing video games. But one thing that made the school special is the community. You know, like you see a lot of people that are like you, and that's what made me feel like I could fit in. When I seen people that I felt like are from the same background or the same ethnicity, it was easy for me to just say, you know what, I could be cool with these people because they know the same background that I come from, and we could relate in so many things such as music, sports, majors, whatever the case is. I felt like I could relate to them. The thing I loved most about the school, well, I guess another thing I love most, they have these events called Instant Decision Day. Now, the reason why I love Instant Decision Days is because you're able to get an instant decision from a future college. What I mean by that is, for me, right? And I know I'm not supposed to get into this because it's about community college, but for me, when I attended Hudson, I knew that that wasn't my final destination. I knew I wanted to go to a 4-year school after graduating Hudson, and I'm not knocking anyone who doesn't graduate from there because, do what you got to do to get where you got to get. But that was my goal from the beginning, is I wanted to graduate from there and eventually go to a 4-year school. So I took advantage of the instant decision days. Anytime they had it, I was applying, applying, applying. Although sometimes, like per semester, my grades might be better one semester than the next. I still took advantage. The worst thing they could do is say no. There's no point on me like, oh, no, I'm not gonna do this. I might not get accepted. No, just go. You don't get accepted, I have another semester to get my grades up. And that's really what it was. Me going to figure out, hey, what can I do to improve so that next time I apply, I get accepted. Another thing about the school I love is the fact that they have so many events. I remember in my freshman year where we did a trip to medieval times. And that was my first time going there. And I was just like we had the best seats. It didn't cost much as far as the tickets go. And it was just amazing. You get a group of friends, hey, let's all go there. I forget how much the ticket was, but it wasn't that expensive. So that's something you all can do together and just build these bonds that last after Hudson. And honestly, it was the best decision for me. Like I feel like being someone who really didn't know what I wanted to do after high school, it was the perfect place for me to figure my life out, because I didn't want to be those people who go to school for 4 years and then after they graduate, they don't have a job in the field that they studied 4 years for. So it's like, you know what? Let me take these 2 years, figure my life out, because clearly I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then after I figure that out, all I have is 2 more years at whatever school to finish for my bachelor's. So, to be honest, it worked out so well for me. And what I would tell any incoming freshman or just anybody in school, take advantage of your resources. If you want to get an internship, talk to the people in your community, talk to professors, talk to counselors, advisors, talk to all of them. I'm sure they have some type of knowledge that you might not have. Even if they don't have the answers, they could guide you to someone who does have the answers. So please take advantage, not in a bad way, but just use them in a way that it'll help you and provide you with a better future. Another thing that I really enjoyed is I wanted to be different than a lot of people, like looking at the graduation rate, it wasn't always the highest, but I knew for me personally, that was a goal I wanted to do because I knew if other people couldn't finish, I wanted to be the first person in my family to graduate. And that's exactly what I did. And it's only going to be up to you with how your future turns out. If you want your future to be as good as it possibly can be, you got to put in the work. And I know sometimes people look down upon community colleges, but at the end of the day, it is what you make it. And if you want it to be good, then you'll make the most out of it. Don't let people tell you, "Oh, that's another year of high school," or because it's not. It is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? If you want it to feel like that, then that's what you're going to do. But don't let it feel like that. Make the most of it, and trust me, live with the results as long as you did all you can do. I feel like I'm preaching out here, but anyways, I hope you guys learned a little bit about my experience. I hope to do a lot more of these videos where I just go in details about story times and just everything. So please definitely subscribe to my channel, put the post noties on, like the video, share it, everything you can do. And with that said, I will catch you when I catch you. Peace.